Well, hello, welcome to Mr. Paul's Pantry. I'm Mr. Paul, and if you're new here, a very warm welcome. If you're a returning visitor, you'll already know this is the time of the week when I share with you what I've been having for my meals every day during the past 7 days. I do it, there's no recipes, I do it just to give you some ideas of what I do, possibly some inspiration for what you can do. And it's becoming more and more popular every single week. Now, this week was a hit and miss week. I had some good meals and some I had to make do with meals. And Monday was a day I had to make do. I was very, very busy on Monday with various things, and I just made do with a lasagna. Now, these were made several weeks ago. They're in the freezer, and I make them in individual, not like a ramekin. In Spain, we call them cazuelas. It's a terracotta dish, and you can use it actually, strangely enough, either on top of the stove or in the oven. It's a very versatile, it's a standard cooking pot in Spain. Anyway, I made this lasagna, and instead of serving it like I normally do, like this, just with a few green salad leaves, etc., I thought I'd give it a change. So I made what I call a Mediterranean salad, something I've put together myself over the years from various salads I've had in Spain, and it has no green lettuce, green salad leaves in it at all. It's all vegetables, and it really is a nice addition. This is it. Look, I'm serving it now with my lasagna. Now, I have made a video recipe of this salad, which you will be seeing in the next few days. I will be posting it on this channel. So that's my Monday meal, which was a very quick put together meal, but it was very, very enjoyable. Now we come to Tuesday. And Tuesday I had some chicken left. If you remember, I had a roast chicken on Sunday last week, my roast Sunday lunch. And I had some chicken left, and it's cooked. It was a roast chicken, but I decided to make a curry with it because I quite fancied a curry, and I needed to use the chicken up. So what I did was I made a very, very nice dryish curry, not too much liquid in it, and it was very, very tasty. And I served it just like this, and I served it with saffron rice. There we go, and that was very, very tasty indeed. And then I served the curry in the other bowl, which was, as I said, not too moist. It was a dryish curry, and that was very tasty. And I had some chutneys there along with it. I had a plum chutney, and I had a mango chutney. And to top it all off, I made myself a couple of poppadoms, which I adore. And so I had the rice, the curry, and the poppadoms for my Tuesday meal. So now Wednesday, I bought a piece of pork tenderloin. You may know it as pork fillet, or I don't know, they call it different things in different places. In Spain here, we call it solomillo. Anyway, I bought this pork fillet. I didn't know what I was going to do with it when I bought it, but it looked very nice. So I cut some medallions, and these were quite tasty in actual fact. Pork fillet is very easy to cook, very quick. It doesn't have a lot of flavour on its own. It's a bit like fillet steak. So you need to add some flavours to it. So what I did was, first of all, I served it with some very creamy mashed potatoes, and I mean very creamy. They were very, very soft. Here they are, you can see that now. Now I cooked these medallions along with some caramelized onions and some garlic and some coriander, and that made a very, very nice flavored pork, but it also left me with a very nice sauce at the end to pour over the whole thing. There are my medallions. You can see them now. They look very, very appetizing, I must say. And I served along with it this roasted butternut squash. Now, this is a vegetable I like in the winter. And I also had some cauliflower to go with it. So I popped it all in together. It was just a bit of cauliflower I had kicking about. And I just used that up. I roasted it very, very quickly. And I had some leftover sage and onion stuffing there, you can see, from my Sunday roast. And so I warmed that and put that along with the pork as well. It was a nice combination. Very, very nice indeed. And just to give a nice look on the plate, a bit of greenery, and give me some vegetables, some green vegetables, I put a few stalks of tender stem broccoli. And that was my meal for Wednesday. It was a very, very delicious meal. So we come to Thursday. And as you know, it's the time I do my shopping on a Thursday morning. And before I go out, I usually have a look through the fridge, see what's left over, what needs using up, and see if I can think of something to make for my meal that evening with what's left over. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not so easy. Last week was a real challenge. This week, not so difficult. It wasn't. It was a bit easier anyway. So this was Thursday morning. Well, here we are, it's Thursday morning again, and if you've been watching my videos, you will know on Thursday morning I clear my fridge out, sort out what needs to be thrown away, what I can resurrect, anything I have to replace. And then off I go shopping. And if you've been watching the videos, if you haven't, I'll just explain. The few things that I resurrect from the fridge that I don't want to throw away, that are usable, or I think are usable, I sort them out, go and have a coffee whilst I'm doing my shopping, sit and have a think of what I can make for my meal tonight. Some weeks it's easy, some weeks it's more difficult. Last week was a real brain teaser for me. But I've got quite a lot of things left over this week, so it should be a lot easier. So these are what I've got left in the fridge that need using up. I've got a bit of bacon for starters. That needs using, definitely. I've got two very manky looking mushrooms. In fact, I don't think another day I wouldn't be able to use them. I've got half an onion, which is also on its last legs. It's even started sprouting in the middle, you can see that. I've had it sitting there that long. I've got a red pepper with just the end bit off missing. It's almost a whole red pepper. I've got two carrots. And earlier in the week, I made some pork medallions. And I've got the remains here of the bit of pork fillet that I used. So I'm going to use that up. That's quite a bounty, that. I can do a lot with that. So by the look of these ingredients here, I think I could feed the whole street. I don't think I'll have a brain teaser this week. So I'm going off to do my shopping now. I'll sit and have a coffee. It's a beautiful day outside, so I'll be sitting on the street cafe enjoying the sunshine. And I'll be thinking very hard what I can do with these for my meal tonight. Well, when I got back from shopping, I'd had a good think and I decided what I was going to do. Remember, I had this piece of pork left where in the week I'd made some pork medallions and I had this piece of fillet of pork left. So what I did with it was I sliced it and opened it like a book. I sort of slit it down the side, opened it like a book, and I made a stuffing with some of the things I had left, which were the mushrooms, the onion, and the bacon. I gently sautéed that in a pan and then I let it cool. Then I put it in on the pork and I fastened it all together with a couple of toothpicks, just so it falling to pieces. And then I made a herby crust to go with it. Now that was very simple. It was a half a slice of bread. I put it in the food processor with 5 or 6 leaves of sage, fresh sage from the garden. Whizzed it together, a bit of salt and pepper, and then I brushed the piece of pork with some oil and rolled it in the breadcrumb mixture, and I seared it in the pan just for 5 minutes, 2 minutes each side, something like that. And then I put it in the oven at 190 for 15 minutes. And it came out beautiful. And I served it up like this, with some buttered carrots. Remember, I had those 2 carrots left from the fridge that morning, and I had some Dauphinoise potatoes. Now, I cheated a little bit here because I didn't have any potatoes left this morning, so I took one out of my shopping bag when I got back. I got them all prepared, made the Dauphinoise potatoes, and served that alongside this beautiful solomillo, as we call it here. It is a pork fillet or pork, I don't know what you call it, different things in different parts of the country, but it's a pork fillet anyway. And I sliced it nice and thick. You can see the beautiful stuffing inside it. And that was my meal for Thursday evening, and it really was beautiful. Now, when we come to Friday, and Friday was one of those days I said was a bit hit and miss because I'm really, really busy, and I had to take a potluck in the freezer. Everything I had for my meal that evening was from the freezer, and I mean absolutely everything. I started off with this beautiful Yorkshire pudding, which I made a few the other week, and I froze some of them, and this is one of them that's still remaining there. Very, very nice. And at the same time, I also made some vegetable stew. That was a day I was using up a lot of vegetables, which are, for some unknown reason, I'd gathered quite a lot of extra vegetables and I needed to get rid of them. So I made a vegetable stew or casserole or whatever you want to call it, and I froze that into portions. And so for Friday, I had one of these Yorkshire puddings. It's one of my most favourite meals, really. I really enjoy stew or something like that in a Yorkshire pudding. And I filled it with this vegetable casserole, and it was delightful. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So that was a quickie on Friday for me. Now, Saturday was a fish and chip day for me. I really fancied English fish and chips. I haven't had them for a couple of weeks. So I had some fish still in the fridge, in the freezer, and it was from 3 or 4 weeks ago when I bought some very, very nice cod. And so I thawed a piece of that out, dried it well with some kitchen paper, battered it well, and fried it with some nice crispy chips. The potatoes were particularly good this week. And of course, I couldn't have fish and chips without mushy peas. So I made some mushy peas, which I'd soaked the night before, and that made my start to the weekend more enjoyable. Fish and chips, what could be better? So we come to Sunday, and that's the last day of my meals of the week. I go Monday through to Sunday, and I had it at lunchtime today instead of this evening. This gives me time to edit it and get it up to you around my time, about 6 o'clock in the evening. So today I had a mince and onion pie. I took it from the freezer. I made it several weeks ago. I make batches of things and freeze them. Living alone, it's easier to do that. So here I'm serving it up with some nice creamy mashed potatoes, and I roasted some carrots and some Brussels sprouts. I think Brussels sprouts, when they're roasted, are a completely different vegetable. They're very, very tasty indeed. So I roasted those two together. And I hope you've enjoyed looking at what I've been eating during the past 7 days. I hope it gives you some inspiration. I hope it gives you some ideas. If you have any questions, suggestions, or any ideas at all, do leave them in the comments section underneath the video. I do read them all, try to answer as many as I possibly can. If you have any suggestions, I will listen to them always. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you like this sort of thing every week, click the subscribe button. When the little bell appears, if you click that also, YouTube will tell you every time I put up a new video. You won't miss one. So that's all I have time for just now. So it's Mr. Paul saying bye for now, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.